Hello everyone, my name is Val and welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, just go around, take a look. We have some stuff to show. And this week I'm going through this palette, First Gal on Jupiter by GlossGods. GlossGods is a Swedish indie brand. They're relatively small and they create amazing things, so their products are very interesting at minimum. They are only sold on the official website and I will add the link below so you can go and check things out. And this palette is one small step for women. This palette is cool, neutral, and I will show you all of the shades, all of the things related to it, how it goes, how it applies, everything, the variations of things that you can create, etc, etc. If you're interested, if you have pink cool or olive cool undertone, or you're just generally interested in neutral palette like this, or in the shiny shades, I don't know, then please stay with me for the duration of this video and let's begin from the first look. So it is Sunday again and I'm filming again. So we are starting off today with the GlossGods First Gal on Jupiter palette, which is a very nice nude-ish palette. It has a very interesting colors, 4 of them being more interesting and 3 being a bit less interesting, but I think they're still gonna be great. And today I also am going to test their Crease Killer base in shade 3.5. It's called That Base Crease Killer, and I applied just a little amount of it onto my eyelid and we will see how it will hold up everything. And I'm starting directly with something nude-ish, as I say. I'm going into the Sputnik Stardust with a fluffy brush and I'm bringing it into the crease and by the lower lid as well. It's kind of the color of my skin tone, so it's very slightly different to my normal skin, and I think it's totally fine to apply like that. So it's a blending color for me. Into the outer third, into the very edge, into the outer V, whatever you call it, I'm bringing the Hypatia's Halo matte shade, which is dark brown with slightly cool tone, and I think it's actually a very nice one, and I'm bringing just a little bit to darken the outer area, and that's pretty much it. Nothing too fancy, it's just gonna be very quick and easy makeup. Then I'm taking my Carl Cosmetics K1 brush, a silicone brush. Unfortunately I don't have any brushes from GlossGods, so I have to work with what I have. And I'm taking the shade Meteoric Moment. Look at the sparkle. This reminds me on a bit better colored version of Urban Decay Cosmic Cowboy, or how does Space Cowboy, I think it's called. It's not orange compared to Space Cowboy, but it also sparkles really awesomely. And into the inner corner I'm setting the shade Eileen's Authority, and it's very pretty silver. I'm also dragging into the lower lid. I think from this point I will only need to add a brown liner. I kind of want something brown neutral into here. Not neutral, but yeah, kind of neutral. And I think I will come back with the finished look already in a moment. So this is my final look and I think it's incredible. This shade on the lid, let's start from the main topic. This shade on the lid is like Urban Decay Space Cowboy, but it's cool toned. So you actually get this sparse sparkles. It's a lot of little sparkles that you can see, and they are very pretty. I don't know if you can actually see it like that, but I'm inserting the macro as well, just so you can imagine. And these little sparkles and this base, they creating the look where you're just staring at yourself in the mirror, because it's just so pretty. In the spotlight or in some harsh light, it's gonna be just amazing. And I like that it's cool toned. It's not warm. This is so rare. Honestly. And mattes are really good as well. They blend nicely, they work together. I only used 2 of the mattes and it created already this darkening, which I enjoy. The lid shade, which is called Meteoric Moment, it's a bit more on the drier side, and it has a base, so when you stretch it out it's just becoming those little sparkles. The silver in the inner corner is a bit more, how to say, smooth, yeah, I think it's a bit more smooth, so you can create quite a metallic look with it. You can just add it into the inner corner and drag to the brow bone and it will be awesome. Like, you don't need too much to make this work. And considering that it's mostly nude shades, I think it will work great as an everyday palette as well, with some interesting additions to it. This shade on the lid also can be just applied with a finger. Swipe and go. It's like my favorite thing to do. And I've added the brown liner because I thought that I don't want to blacken everything badly, and this is brown actually from England. And then so far I'm really happy with it and how it looks, how it feels. This base is also holding so far nicely, but I don't have oily lids. It has to be taken into consideration, so I cannot judge as somebody with not oily lids if that's gonna hold everything or not. So far it's good, I like it. I don't have a P. Louise base to compare it to, but I feel like the bottle and things like that, they're very similar. And yeah, 3.5 seemed to be a good match for me. I just used a little bit and it stretches out on the lid fully. Okay, so far so good. I'm pretty happy with how it looks. It's quite luxurious feeling to me. And what else do I have on my face actually? The Nudegasm face palette. I used the shades on the bottom here just to give myself a bit of contour, a bit of chiselness back. Then I have the low lighter by Danessa Myricks in the shade Unbothered. Not sure why it's low lighter. I think because it's not exactly a highlighter, but it has some of the properties of highlighter. This one is a pink base, so I used it as blush, and it has yellow to pink shift, so it's duochrome as well. And I love this texture, so it's balm to powder. I'm just enjoying my life with Danessa Myricks products. As my highlighter today is Fenty How Many Carats. And on the lips I have Endless Cacao pencil as usual and Cocoa by Huda Beauty. As I said, I'm gonna use it in a lot of videos, and I'm trying to use it in a lot of videos just because I like the formula and I think it matches here. Also like the glossiness. So that is it. That is all for today. I hope I can still make one more today, but most likely I won't. And this will be it for Sunday, because sometimes I also need to have a rest before the working week. Yeah, so what do you think? Do you like it? Tell me in the comments if you enjoy this so far. So the Cool Toned palette is a great stuff, great start, and I'm pretty happy right now. Let's see how the things will go with the other shades, and from there I will definitely form my opinion. But the quality of GlossGods is actually really good, so I'm pretty sure this palette is gonna be really good. Just have to see how it all behaves and how things just work together. That's the main point of doing this review actually, and also because I need more looks. So see you in the next one, in the next makeup, very soon. So it is Monday and evening again, and I'm kind of ready to get things going for this review. So let's start directly with the Sputnik Stardust as my crease shade, just to have it in there. It's almost like my normal color. I used quite a lot of base today. And then I'm taking the shade Jovian Jane, and it seems slightly green in the pan, but it's actually gray. Like it transfers as gray, which is nice. I don't mind that, and it seems like a pretty nice shade. So then I am taking the Color Cosmetics brush K1 and taking the shade Hubble Hues. I think I took a bit too much. It's also very soft, and I'm placing it right in the center. I'm saying that I took too much because I see a bit of a crust-like appearance, which I talked about in a previous review as well, but with a different palette that I reviewed. Not the biggest deal, to be honest, if it stays normally and doesn't go to crease and stuff, so it should be fine. Then I'm just applying it everywhere and into the lower lid as well. And after that, I think we can pretty much do something like a black liner on the top lid and Kaleidos on the lash line, so it's not completely dark, but something rather slightly more airy. I will do my full face and we'll come back in a few minutes for you in a second. So this is my final look, and I have to say I'm pretty happy with that. This shade I think I saw somewhere in Color of Rain palette. At least the idea is the same. It's very wet looking, but I think it's nice. It does have a base, which you can see when you are not in the light, but it's light blue to something pinkish. Not very strong duochrome in here, as you can see probably. And I just added a big black wing and kaleidos onto the lower lash line. So nothing specific, a bit of darkening in the outer edge. I think it adds to this makeup. It kind of makes it more complete, probably. Today I'm wearing one of the most uncomfortable lenses. I don't know why. It's just how things happened. They jump in my eyes when I'm blinking. It's horrible, I have to say. I also today mixed two foundations. It's a Smashbox Full Coverage Studio Skin and House Labs Triclone foundation. So this one is more of a skincare. This one is like full coverage beat. So I mixed them together to get this shade, which is also kind of cool. I like it. It's lighter than the original Smashbox, but not as white as Triclone. And what else? I actually have Rosé Rave by Fenty Beauty and Prima Donna by Dennis Irix. On my lips I have MAC Cherry, which is a cool toned red pencil, and I tried to tone it down a bit with a Huda Posh. I think it turned out great. I wanted some like bright accents somewhere, so I decided to do lips with it. Yeah, and this is the look. I think it's very cute. It also sparkles like crazy in macro, and generally I think it's totally good. I'm enjoying it, but nothing absolute crazy, not a graphic liner, not anything. So yeah, I think I'm happy with this one so far. There is something happening in the crease, but I feel like I need more wear time to actually tell something about that, and I may go to store with that. However, if you generally face such problems, you can just brush it off, like literally. It's just a pigment getting into the crease, and you can just brush it off. Like, not the biggest deal, nothing crazy. This sometimes happens, especially with the gel-like textures, which this shade is. But anyway, I think I'm pretty happy with that, and I will continue later today to get another look. But this one is pretty sexy to me. It looks really nice. So I will see you in a moment, but for me it can be a couple hours. Stay here. So it's almost 11 in the evening, and I had my break, and now I'm just going through stuff that I want to finish for today. And actually I want something grayish green, so I will dive into the shade Jovian Jane, and I'm gonna apply it all over the lid, trying not to go too much over my natural crease. I'm just building a shape that is like limited by my orbital bone, so basically by my bones in the eye, and I'm trying to bring the gray into the whole socket area. The outsides we are blending with a Starry Stride. Anyway, it's a slightly yellow beige, and it's very nice color as well. It blends everything from the gray perfectly into the skin. So with the same approach, I'm gonna go now with the shade Stormy Serenity. It's probably gonna be a bit boring of a shade, but I need to test it out, and I need to see. Boring in terms of not being a multi-chrome, not being a holochrome, not being holographic, this kind of things. It's a metal. It's a metal with a slight shift, but it's still quite metallic in looking. And I'm applying it with the same approach, just limiting it by my eye socket. So my moving lid and a bit of a outside where the wing goes will be with that color, and that will be it. First I'm trying to apply it with a silicone brush, but it's not giving me metallic right now with a silicone brush, so I'm switching to the regular not fluffy, it's actually supposed to be a flat brush. So yeah, I'm switching to flat brush, trying to apply it with that, and it also doesn't give me the desired effect, maybe because it's all just synthetic brushes, and natural one will apply things a bit better, but I don't have natural brushes for some specific reasons. And at the end I'm just drawing with a finger, and the finger gives me the exact precise metallic shine that I'm searching for, so that is nice. Into the inner corner I'm adding the shade Eileen's Authority. We already tried it as an inner corner shade, but I think it's a really good one for the inner corners, so I'm just placing it there. and I think I will add the smudged liner around, maybe a gray one, maybe I will add slightly black one, but that will be pretty much it. So it's gonna be quite a simple look actually, but nevertheless looking good. So I will come back when I do the full face already. So this is my final look with this sparkly shades, and I have to say this is so simple but so beautiful. It's like very aesthetically pleasing. There is nothing like completely out of this world with these shimmers. They're absolutely stunning with tiny sparkles in the spotlight. So if you are somewhere in hard light, it's gonna be amazing. You're gonna love yourself even more. And this color is relatively unique, so I don't see too many this metallic-y green, so dark and so but I like it. I really like it. And the silver in the inner corner is just made for that. It's made for inner corners. I'm just so obsessed. This looks good, and the matte shades are also on the cooler side. As I said, cooler palettes to find, it's a gem. I'm so happy that I picked this palette, honestly, and just now I'm gonna use it till the max. And I'm just very happy with how this turned out and how it looks on me, and that it all just I don't really like gray shades, and I like this somewhat green, and the silvers are also my favorite. So I'm very happy right now, and it also doesn't go anywhere. Like, the base seemed to work, and this does not crease so far, but to be fair, this makeup is really fresh. Like, I just finished everything and it's still very fresh. I have to wear it for quite some time, and then I only will be able to say if that is a good base or not good base. But shimmers, I adore this. It's really good. Like, by the colors, by how they apply. Even though this one on the moving lid had to be applied with the finger for the best result. Otherwise it's not getting that metallic-y shine. But if you apply it just with a brush, you still get those little tiny sparkles, which is also nice. I don't mind that at all. And yeah, I'm just relatively happy with everything that I have. What else do I have on my face? I bought a teeny tiny Hourglass blush because it was on discount. Big ones were not on discount, but big ones are technically better value for the money. It's called Mood Exposure, and Mood Exposure is supposed to be pink to peach, while on my skin it leaves only the peach, because I feel like, it's my theory, that my skin, because it's so pink in itself, just like matches the pink in the blush and only leaves the peach in it. So majority of the blushes that are supposed to be pink actually peach on me, and only the lilac-y pink will look pink, just like Anastasia Beverly Hills Baby Pink, I think it's called. It's a very nice color and it looks pink, but cool pink. Sometimes I want warm pink, but whatever. As my highlighter today, I'm using Cliona Sour, slightly green with multi-dimensional sparkles, so you can see a bit of yellow, a bit of green, a bit of lilac, something in there. So it's very interesting product, and it can be used on face and eyes, but it's considered a highlighter, and the amount is 3 grams in here, so still a good one. On my lips today I have MAC Stone completely covering the lips, because I needed to. And this wonderful black sheer holographic lip oil. This is Demon by Fantasy Cosmetica. And I have to say, this looks and feels amazing. Just as a lip oil. So if you get like a Dior Glow lip oil, it feels like a gloss. It doesn't have that oil feeling. It feels like a gloss. This one feels like an oil. So if you are to pick up, just try this out. They are not that expensive, especially on the website when there are sales. But yeah, I'm just very grateful. That was a gift with my purchase by Monolith, and I'm very thankful for that. I want to buy 2 more of them, 4 more of them. There are a total of 5 in the bundle. I just like it so much. Like, I've tried it a few times and I'm wearing it when I'm actually having my eyes done. So when you are really close, I'm wearing this oil, and I really love it. So that's so far what I have. This is very luxurious feeling. This is like, this makeup, this look in general is like, it gives luxury feeling, even though it's majority indie brands, except Hourglass. But Hourglass is specific. Let's not talk about that, at least for now. And my foundation today, as usual, as usual. For the last two looks, my foundation was House Labs in 000 together with the Smashbox in 05. This is a bit darker on itself. This one is a bit lighter in itself. Combine it, boom, you have a skincare full coverage foundation that is matching my tone. So I really like to mix things. Of course, I would prefer to have something not mixed and like really done for my tone, but it's a rare case. But I can mix things, so it's good. I'm okay with that. I don't really mind at the end. I'm mixing things anyway. So I am going to wrap this day up and go to sleep. And tomorrow we will touch two more, hopefully. And I will be able to say something about the other shades. And we will see what the other shades are. And it will be very quick for you. But for me, it's going to be the very next day, almost 24 hours. So see you very soon. So it's Tuesday and I'm actually using my lunch break to make this piece of the video. So I am going to start with the shiny shade. Actually not start, but I want to touch the shiny shade today, which means I'm starting with the Jovian Jane into the crease. I'm doing the full cut crease, means I'm not closing it to the lower lash line. I'm just using it as a line of the crease basically. And I am setting the shade as a blended first. I found out that it's better for me, easier kind of to work like that. And then I'm adding and blending it with the shade Starry Stride, because I don't need anything warm or relatively warm in this situation, and it's better to use that beige shade basically. And I'm also setting Jovian Jane and Starry Stride onto the lower lid, since it's gonna be the duplicate of the crease. And after that I'm taking the angled brush to take the Jovian Jane into the crease as a line basically. So I'm outlining, giving it more of a darkened look in this case. So this will be my basically borderline. And then I'm taking silicone brush and the shade Interstellar Icon. It's very soft and very metallic-y, so it's almost gel-like soft. And I'm starting to set it onto the lid. Everything is gonna be within this outlined line that I created. And I have to say, this is insanely metallic shine. I honestly wish I could find more colors like this sometimes, because this metallic is just the pure silver, not the silver from Odin's Eye like I reviewed from the previous week, but it's the real silver this time. I believe they have collection molten metals, but unfortunately I don't have a budget right now to grab it, but I would love to. I think it all contains different types of metallic colors. And I'm just setting the shade in a way that it stays within this line, kind of the crease line and the outer edge where the wing goes. So I'm setting it till there, and also I'm using the inner corner for that as well, just to have it highlighted kind of. The outer edge should be more darkened while the inner corner should be highlighted. So into all of that I will add only the black liner and some contact lenses, and I will come back with a full face already. So this is my final look, and I have to say it's incredibly amazing. Like, it's so majestic. This silver is something that I've been searching for and only was able to find in Mayron silver powder, but silver powder is not always easy to apply, plus you need to have a mixing liquid and etc, etc. This one is all in one. Lethal Cosmetics has a metals collection, but it's absolutely different. It's more of sparkling with a metal. This one gives you this smooth metal look. It's so good. Now I definitely want the molten metals collection, because if this is the same as in the molten metals, I'm sold. It's just like, it's so amazing. You won't say that this makeup is something out of this world. Like, it's not, if you don't count this metallic shine as one. It's very simple in itself, but it's so powerful. It's so beautiful. I'm just loving it, as you can see. And hopefully you like it as well. I'm just super happy, and I love silver, everything, platinum, silver, all the stuff. As you can see, I'm wearing silver only, also on my ears, and because gold doesn't look good on me. Only maybe white gold, but it's... Anyway, super happy. So far, so good. I don't see anything bad happening. It does start to come into creases, you can see it. So we will see. I want to wear this for a while, to be honest, to just see how it works over time. So at least a couple hours or until the end of the day. That would be my test, basically. And I will tell then if the base is just the color or it actually holds something. And what else do I have on my face? Dim infusion. As far as I have such cool toned eyelids, which are very, very bright as well, I didn't want to kind of do everything monochrome in me, so I tried to get into more neutral state. This is dim infusion. This is how they look, and they are a bit more peachy. Then I used Dior's Frobe from the palette white highlighter. I honestly want this in as a separate highlighter, but it's gonna be an overkill because I won't use this one for a long time still. So it doesn't make sense right now to buy a dupe or like similar shade because yeah, that's just too much. On my lips I have Endless Cacao as my pencil. I just applied it around and smudged a bit and then applied Kaleidos Free Fall. It's slightly black, it has tiny sparkles in it. Not sure if you're actually supposed to shake it or anything. I don't honestly see tiny sparkles right now. Probably you have to apply them specifically to see them. Yeah, they're too tiny to notice. And because it's also a gloss, it doesn't help. In the matte lipstick, I feel like the sequins lipstick, you know, that from Dior. I don't have any, but I kind of like it when you smack the lips and the glitter appears. So this is my look for now. I think I will do one more today, and I am the last two so happy. It's just, oh, you cannot imagine, like this palette can become a very good Sylvester palette or like holidays palette because it gives me that feeling. That is what I'm searching for, actually. The color story to work, the shades to be understandable, and to have an inspiration. This is just so good. So I will finish up with this one, and after that, yeah, I think I will wear it for a couple hours and then I will remove everything, have my end of the day, have my workout, and then maybe I will film one more for today. So let's see how the things will go. In the meantime, stay with me for a while, two more I guess. So right now we're going to touch a holographic shade called Orion Octavia. For that I need to create a base. The base is going to be consisting out of two darkest colors in this palette, which is Hypatia's Halo and Jovian Jane. I'm taking the brown Hypatia's Halo onto the angled brush and I'm starting to draw my halo eye. It says halo, I'm doing halo. Nothing spectacular. So I'm just outlining the eye shape, basically. Nothing too fancy about that. I'm adding the wing liner outline, and in the front I'm also adding the line. This will give me like a future shape, and I'm setting the shade slightly deeper inside, slightly deeper inside to the inner part, so that I will blend it. And I'm gonna blend it with Jovian Jane, which is gray. I need gray because we have a silver base. The brown itself probably won't look too good with silver base, but if we add gray, it probably will be a bit better. So I'm also adding it all over the brown and trying to blend it into the center. And after that, I'm taking the Starry Stride, which is beige shade, and I'm gonna connect the gray and beige together in the center. So I will have like a basically beige for everything, and the beige also helps to blend slightly, but I'm blending only one direction. I'm not blending the outer part, so that has to be taken into consideration. And now let's set our holographic, and it's a pure holographic. It has little tiny sparkles, tiny particles that are changing colors. So with the silicone brush, I'm setting it right into the center. Center will be the most prominent area, the most packed, and whatever I can, I'm just dragging into the shape. So I'm covering pretty much 100% of what I created. Or maybe 98% of what I've created, since the brush is not that easy to get into. Little tiny pieces, little tiny crevices of the eye, sometimes it's just not possible, but okay. And I'm also adding it onto the lower lid, so I will have my base once again, and that I will have sparkles there already as well. So after that, I think I only need to add a smoked line. I don't think I need a specifically sharp liner or anything, just a bit of a smoke, and we're good to go. So I will come back when I will do the full face already. So it is Wednesday, my dudes, and I'm starting the last makeup that I wanted to have a look on together because it's the last shade and it seemed to be a duochrome, so I assume it is. So let's try to make it work for us. So I'm starting with the shade Sputnik Stardust actually, and the fluffy brush. I'm just bringing it to the last third of the eye and slightly into crease, also onto the lower lid, so that I will have a base for blending. Then I'm taking the Celestial Trek shade, and it's actually kind of nice greenish shade. This green also will look very good with the Stormy Serenity if you blend them together, but today with the Celestial Trek is going into here, and I'm blending it with the fluffy brush as usual. Nothing changes with that. Then I'm taking the darkest shade in the palette, and it's Hypatia's Halo, so that one goes next and to the small amount on the very outer corner of the eye, so that I can have it there. Yeah, so I'm blending here and there just to make things work, and then I will take my silicone brush and the Hidden Heroines shade, which is a duochrome. So I'm setting it from the center, dragging onto the darkest part, and then by the crease, I'm trying not to leave the crease basically. I'm also adding it to the overall look, and I'm thinking what to mix it with, because the inner corner needs something light but not too light and probably not silver. So I'm gonna go into the Meteoric Moment. It's slightly rose gold shade, but I think it will look nice in here. Just into the inner corner and dragging onto the lower lid so that I can have it covered. Into here I think I will add just a brown liner. It seems to me that brown will be the best choice. And after that I will come back with already the full face. So this is my final look, and I have to say this also is very luxurious and feels like amazing. The base of this duochrome is quite dark. As you can see, it's something like a chocolatey base, and then you have a slightly pinkish tone to green, and this looks awesome. It's not right into your face, it's gonna be very subtle, but I think I love this kind of looks lately, and I feel like it's very how to say, it makes me feel a bit better about myself. It's like that luxurious lady kind of thing. Maybe it's time to feel like a lady, in terms of age at least. And I'm loving this type of looks, so I think there will be a bit more of that in the future. Even though it's still gonna be duochromes and sparkles and everything like that, but it has to be beautiful and wearable. This is main criteria for me. You can blend things out in quite a short period of time to make things beautiful, and that you can just take something and leave from your makeup room, from your makeup table, from anything where you do your makeup, and that it will look good in any scenario. Of course, this is a bit too dark for like work maybe in the day, but to be honest, I don't mind that at all. Considering that I work from home, this would be great. And I paired it with the brown lenses in this case because I thought that this chocolate needs something brownish. Even though with blue eyes it probably would look good as well, because brown and blue also go together very nicely, so it's just artistic choice, let's say. Other than that, my base is still a mix of House Labs and Smashbox. I am really into this mix. This gives a full coverage and my pale undertone. This gives the lightness and the skincare. So at the end, it kind of matches better than on itself, each of them. So I will keep mixing most likely. I think they both have 30 milliliters, so one pump of that and a little bit of that, and I'm good to go. You don't need too much, especially with the full coverage. And then it goes smooth and nice, and I love it. Also, I wanted to tell you that I finished the balm powder Yummy Skin Universal. This is the SMRX. It's 6 gram one, but I finished it completely, like nothing left, and I love it. This is part of I don't really do project pan, especially with eyeshadow, but these products, I'm telling you, I love it, and I actually finish it. Next one will be probably this one. It's also balm powder, but in number 1, so I will try this out, and it should be also very close, just slightly darker than I need, but it's good, and it becomes powder from the balm, and If you have oily skin, there are some benefits for oily skin with this thing, but I did not read too much about the technology used in this. However, I'm just enjoying everything. Vanessa knows what she's doing. I'm happy to just use those products. Also on my face today is Nude Gasm by Charlotte Tilbury. Don't like this design with the face, but I like this palette. I think it's not sold anymore, like it was limited edition in some year, so powder product, good to go. Nothing will happen to it if it's stored properly. And my lip combo for today is Limitless Brown by Makeup Forever and Huda Beauty Honey. You won't really say that it's that, but it's that color. This has a bit of a redness to it, and I thought that redness kind of, like it's a bit darker, but it kind of matches, not fully, but there is something happening. And that's pretty much it. That's all I have on my face really, and all I use, and it looks good. I don't need too many products to create a great look. So next one will be the review, the final thoughts about this little one. And I already have some stuff to say, and I just need to do a makeup for it, which will be like an additional one for this. I did it again, and I outdid my plan with how many looks I wanted to create, but it's a good thing. The bad thing is to edit it later, which I also have to do. But that's life if I want to keep doing makeup on videos for YouTube and other platforms, but mostly for YouTube. Anyway, this is all I have to say for now, and we will go to the final thoughts in like a very short period of time for you especially, but I need a break. So see you. So this is my final look, and I'm extremely happy. For the past 3 or 4 looks, I'm just extremely happy how the things turned out and how it all looks together. I'm a person with a cool pink undertone, and I love warm colors. I can do nothing with myself. I truly love warm colors, even though sometimes I like them to be more muted, but they are good. However, warm colors are the things that attract attention to them rather than to me. So they stand out on my background. This is the problem of cool undertone and warm colors used on them. While when I'm using neutral to cool colors, they help me to stand out. So they accentuate something in my appearance that is looking better. This is the same thing as with how's it called, the seasons that you are attaching to. Basically, it's the same. The colors that are matching you better are making you stand out rather than attracting attention to them. So the red lips always grab attention in any scenario. It doesn't matter if it's warm or cool, they will grab attention. The same way as majority of warm colors, they are attention grabbing. And these colors in this palette are just so subtle, and they help my appearance, my pink cool undertone stand out so much more. And I'm in love with this experience and this palette because I feel myself beautiful. This is something kind of rare because I was growing up, and as a teenager I've been bullied into believing that I'm absolutely pale, sick, not looking good, and etc, etc, which is not actually the case. Like, teenagers are just cruel creatures, let's face it. So most of us probably face the same problems, and yeah, I just have to say, you need to find the pillars for yourself, and you need to have those things defined for yourself, what you are, how you see yourself. So it doesn't have to be somebody's opinion, it needs to be something in you. Outside of all of this psychological talk, let's get back to the palette. And these are 12 shades that I'm fully in love with because they are neutral to cool. They have wonderful mattes that blend together also wonderfully. You have all of the colors to create a full look. So you have the darkening shades and you have the lightening shade, which is self-sufficient in a palette, as I mentioned earlier, because that's what I'm searching for in the palette. I need to be able to create a full look using only one palette. And this one answers this criteria, and it also allows to create more subtle and more light looks, and also the darker, more dark feminine kind of looks, because they truly accentuate you instead of being the standout by themselves. And these colors with these textures, they are amazing. The only thing in this palette that I did not fully understand is probably this wet looking pinkish base, with a duochrome, because probably I applied too much and you need to be a bit more sheer with such colors. Then they are not gonna be too bad. And the holographic in this palette is amazing. You need to see it in person because it's just looking incredible. All the silvers, the glitter green, the rose gold, the chocolate shade, they don't look in the pan the same way they look on you, which is a point for a lot of palettes. Even on swatches, sometimes they don't look the same as they look on the eyes. So not all swatches are actually like really good for you to understand how the things are. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. So this palette in general it's glorious. I'm in love with that. And it's 1.8 grams per pan, which is almost 2 grams. It's a lot of product, trust me. With the eyeshadow, it's a lot of product. And my heart belongs to this one because it's just such a universal daily use palette that I cannot express how happy I am to pick this up. Right now it's sold out. I don't know if it will be back, when it will be back. Right now it's sold out. It's $43.95 on the official websites. The GlossGods only sold on GlossGods.com because they are just not wanting to sell anywhere else. The shipping might be a bit of a problem, especially if you're shipping from Sweden to USA or something like that. I'm not sure about the rates, but I assume it can be slightly overwhelming. However, finding the analog, you can find analog for the shades. You can find something similar in other indie brands. This is not the hugest, like, unique, absolutely unique thing. But in one palette, this is an interesting product. And I'm super happy with it. I'm just super happy. So this is neutral glam with shiny shades, with all the cool to neutral stories. And it will accentuate the pink cool and olive cool undertones very, very much. It will help you stand out. So I'm just recommending that. The downside of this palette, however, is the shipping from the official website, and it's made out of the cardboard, and some of the shades, if they get into the cardboard, they can leak. So this is something from the formula of the shiny shades that can get in between the pan and the packaging, and it leaks and like an oily thing. So this is the downside. The other downside is that if you apply too much, or you apply it to the empty lid, or you don't use something like very strong hold for such types of colors, you end up with those little creases in the creases of the eye. It's not the biggest deal because you can always just smudge it a bit with your finger. So if you are out somewhere and you go to the toilet, see yourself in the mirror and fix the thing. However, it's not the best option, especially if you're a long time somewhere in this shades and it starts to crease. Not the nicest, right? It's not the best quality, but there are primers. For me, Urban Decay, the original one, works wonders. It's slightly drying, and I also think that you can get something like the Myrix because of the absorbing power of this balm to powder product. And I want to test out if that really works as I think it is. Because I read about the Upsalite technology that is used here, and I need to try it out on the palettes as well, on my eyelids. So this palette is a win for me. I think it's very good for any occasions. It's very good for wearing it daily as well. These colors are pretty neutral if you need a neutral palette with a bit of a sparkles, because sparkles here are amazing, especially in electric light and I think in sunlight. I cannot check it because we don't have sunlight right now, but I'm gonna do some tests when it will be out. So that is my final thought about this one. If you think this is something for you, if you're ready to handle these problems that I mentioned, and if you're in search of something neutral for you with a cool undertone, if you need one palette for all occasions, this could be it. Yeah, it's not colorful. About colorful palettes we can talk somewhere later, but it's that daily staple piece that will accentuate your appearance if you are cool toned just like me. So these are the thoughts. Let's have a look at all the makeup that I created, because I already forgot how many of them we have together. And it's gonna be a flashback for me as well. And Yeah, just absolutely happy that I picked up this palette, and if it will be back in stock, I just highly recommend to grab one and just enjoy it to the fullest. So I will also leave a code down below. It's giving you some percentage off, and I don't really care if you use it. If there is a better deal, then you should do that instead. So your support to me will be great if you can leave a comment like this video, maybe share it to your friends who have the same undertone. That would be the biggest thing for me, because I love my hobby. I want to share this passion with the world. So thank you so much for watching and for staying so long with me in this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I hope you will come back next week and to get another one, basically, because I hope I will be doing this continuously now. And on this note, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you did not yet. Leave a thumbs up to the video. Thank you for watching once again, and see you in the next one. Bye!